The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Is brought to you by All Pro Roofing on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, news and notes, sports concepts and rationalizations. We do it each and every day. It's called the 10-minute drill, and we bounce around the rest of the world of sports, not named Jaguars, Gators, or Seminoles usually. And, for example, today's Baseball Hall of Fame day for the first time in 2 years, and really one of the game's all-time greats is going in. That's Derek Jeter.
It got you choked up, man.
Very emotional about it. You look like Yadier
Now
Molina.
batting for the Yankees, the shortstop, Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter will go in today, and makes you forget who the rest of them are. I think it's Larry. I think I saw it last night. I think it's Larry Walker, Ted Simmons, and Marvin Miller are the other three who will be inducted into.
For the life of me, I don't know how Ted Simmons is a Hall of Famer.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, good Lord. And I can't get Dale Murphy in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And this jackass Ted Simmons, who is half the player of Dale Murphy, is going in the Hall. I don't get it, man. But anyway, I'm not going to go down that. All right, time for a little coaches say the most curious things. Mm-hmm. Some people think it's kids.
Yeah.
We'll start with Urban, and you find it curious what he said in applying his rating to the kind of talent that he inherited. Here's another just quick listen to the beginning of this bite.
Okay.
I think there's good players here. They didn't necessarily play well all the time, but, I studied this thing hard, and I think we have good players here in Jacksonville.
That's enough. Where are you at on that, on the truthfulness scale from 1 to 10?
I mean, I just don't know that I agree that we have a lot of good players because I don't see them in Pro Bowls or ranked in those lists or, we'll find out. But let's see if he can get them more out of them.
I said coaches say the most curious things. Sometimes they give the most curious looks. I don't know if you were watching after the Florida game the other night when Cole Kubalik, the analyst for SEC Sports Network, asked Dan Mullen live on the air if he was, contemplating any kind of quarterback change.
Oh, yeah.
And Mullen looked at him like he, like Phil Mickelson looked at me in the parking lot
Yes.
at TPC one year. Like he had some, excrement hanging off of him somewhere.
A turd, I think he said.
Yeah, that's what I said at the time, and I'm not
Yes.
sure that's still appropriate. But
Oh.
anyway, with a chance to kind of overall look, he admitted when meeting the media now this week that Richardson did, in fact, grade higher, but he stands by the fact that Emory Jones knows the offense inside and out, and while he's not downplaying the knowledge that Richardson has of the playbook, he says he's missing out on the reps, which my follow-up would have been, well, doesn't USF sound like a good place to find some?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think the quarterback who plays more snaps Saturday? Now, this doesn't necessarily indicate that he's leaning more towards Richardson, but do you think he plays more this week?
No. Does he play more than he did last week?
No,
yes.
Does he play
more than Emory this
as many
week?
snaps
No.
as Emory?
No.
So I don't understand what it is then. What does Emory need then? He's got experience. He's got the. I mean, what is playing South Florida for him isn't going to do much.
He needs to go have a good game. He needs to play better. He said that.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I mean, it's awful quick to judgment. In one game, you've seen enough.
No. I at the end of the day, I do know that the one thing the other kid's missing, he's not going to get once you get to SEC schedule. That's my point. You got to lay up at South Florida. If Emory Jones is your guy,
Emory Jones has to play. He hasn't played either.
Yeah. Well, he's played a lot more than Anthony Richardson has.
Sure he has.
Yeah.
But they both. I mean, yeah, you got to play though. I mean, you got to get snaps.
Well, I'm not saying that you don't.
If you're going to play Emory Jones against Alabama, you better play him against USF.
Well, of course. I'm not saying don't play him at all. You're missing my point. But play him the first half. It's 28-0. He goes out.
Well, no, I think he'll play. I don't think that's his rotation. I think you'll see Emory Jones get a couple series, and then you'll get Richardson.
I guess my point with this, I don't think Emory Jones will be any better prepared or served or any worse off facing Alabama if he plays or plays at all this week. That would be my point. Whereas Anthony Richardson, whether he plays or plays at all this week, could make a major difference in what we see out of him the rest of the year.
No, I think Anthony Richardson will get more snaps than he did, but not as many as Emory Jones.
All right, the most curious of all the curious, and look, I get it. You have to believe in yourself, but doubling down on an idiotic play call to me is never good strategy. But no fans are eating it up, so Mike Norvell is going to get away with it. But when asked, did he have any second chances? No, he'd do it every time, which is just a bold-faced lie. I promise you, if FSU is 4th and 3 from their own 32 at any other time this year, they most definitely will not be going for it. So
I'll also throw in, what if you're down to Syracuse 31-20 and you feel like you're a better team, would you go for it there? No.
No one goes
'Cause
for
you're
it on
gonna
their
come
own
back.
30. The only people that go for it on their own 30 are nut jobs. Seriously.
Yeah.
Coaches who never punt or, you got to be a nut to go for it more than one time in your life. Unless the unless it's the end of the game. I'm not talking about that. But if you go for it with, 25 minutes of game time left from your own 30, you're doing it wrong, man. I'm sorry. And so it would concern me just a tad that he's doubling down, but I think it's just, I'd do it again and move on. I most certainly think that Mike Norvell is smart enough to know that was a terrible decision.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a good decision.
And it worked out terrible. And even now, knowing that it worked out terrible, you're going to tell me you do it again?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't.
Coaches say the most curious things, Dan.
They do.
I found it great. I always forget until I get sucked into it.
Uh-huh.
And now I will allow myself to get sucked into it a lot more here for these last 4 or 5 days. What a great time filler the U.S. Open can be.
Okay.
You don't have to know who the players are. You don't have to care. You don't. If you invest 5 or 10 minutes into the narrative and the fabric of the tennis match, they can be so good as the announcers tell you the stories and you learn who's from where and what they are. But this little teenager from Canada.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Oh, my gosh. And
I like her.
I tuned into her and she time-filled me a little bit. And, to come from behind, she's 18 years old. She's the first since Serena Williams forever ago who, as a teenager, beat 2 of the top 5 ranked players in the world in the same major.
Yeah.
And now she's into the Final Four.
Yeah, I hope she keeps going. I don't think that her knocking off 2 of the top 5 at this current time is as impressive as others. But nonetheless, I think it's a great story, and she has captured the hearts of the tennis world who are at the U.S. Open, the New Yorkers and such, with the way she plays and her family, and she is very glib after and very good. So, yeah, I've enjoyed that. But I have not watched, I have to admit. I have not. Like, I saw one of the dudes retired, and really on the men's side, it's just, is the Joker going to get number 21 and the Grand Slam?
I will say, to that end, and you're right, that is the storyline because the number 2 seed, no one even knows who it is. But that Medvedev guy is the 2 seed, and he's also advancing along. So we're headed towards that show now, but Joker should crush him. Look, we get to this stage, I root for the history. I root for the guy to make history. And Joker, it's amazing how we've gone from these 3 equal players to Djokovic shooting way above the other 2.
Yeah, I think
that's where he'll end. There won't be any question who the best is.
I think Rafa's best hope is to snare another French.
Yeah, and Federer's done. He'll probably never play.
Done.
And they had great careers in and of themselves.
My God.
But Joker's still the youngest of them. He's got more. He's about to win the Grand Slam, Dan.
Yeah.
He's about to win every major match he plays this year.
I'm big on, the amount of – it's going to be tough for him. I'm not saying – I don't
tough
think
for him what? To win this tournament?
This one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a slam dunk. I wouldn't be shocked if
Well, like I said, the Medvedev, the 2 seed, and they're down to like the final 8, so it's 3 more matches to go.
He's dropped sets along the way this time. He usually doesn't do that. So I don't know where his game is.
I do think he's feeling this one a little bit more.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's just it's hard, man. I mean, and it got a little sideways at the Olympics, and I don't know the reasons behind it, but he didn't win the gold. It was going to be the Golden Slam, and he got beat there.
That's right.
And so we'll see. But a guy like Medvedev could beat him. Yeah, for sure. So
what is the status of Ruben Foster?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like I saw that the Jags have brought in Ruben Foster for a workout.
Yeah.
I mean,
they worked him out. They work out tons of guys all the time. So I guess he's trying to get back in the NFL, get a job. He was a first-round pick of the 49ers. Had a lot of off-field issues.
A lot of off-field issues.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're even kicking tires.
And he signed with Washington, but never played because he had a severe knee injury in his first practice. Hasn't played since 2018. So
I don't.
That's why. That's his status, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
I guess my way of saying
they didn't sign him.
What? No. Why? Why even work him out?
You just leave.
We got a Balky connection there. No,
for sure.
Way too many legal incidents. No, you can't sign him.
Well, I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah. Well, if you're not gonna, then again, it's their time. They can spend it how they want. I just thought that was very curious. I mean, at this stage of the evolution of your program, I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all to bring in a guy like that when you had Joe Schobert traded away for a bag of beans.
Joe Schobert, I love you.
You always will.
I miss you, Joe.
If I ask you, Dan, to rank the rookies this year, like a rookie power rankings, what is the absolute basement that you would put? Not even looking at the class.
Yeah.
What's the basement ranking you would have on Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall pick? If you were at the end of the year, we went back and we power rated the rookies. How are they finishing Rookie of the Year? However you want to do it. What is the basement? What's the worst that you can imagine he would be?
As you know, in our Rhino Shield bet of the day, I put some shekels on Trevor to win the Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. But I would say worst case, they'll probably throw one defensive guy in there, 3, maybe 4 at the worst.
Well, the latest just tool from CBS Sports Box.
Is it him?
Number 8.
Is it the guy?
No, it's not your boy.
Damaso?
Yeah. Trapasso. Yeah, it's not him. This is
we
some
were all
other
in
guy. I don't even know
agreement
his
on
name.
this.
I'm not going to commit his name to memory.
Okay.
He, too, is a moron. I mean, I hate to name call. You have Trevor Lawrence 8th in the rookie power rankings. There's no world where Trevor Lawrence is the 8th best rookie. That's
Josh
just
Edwards.
asinine. Is it not?
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Am I overreacting?
They've got great players ahead of him.
Yeah, these are silly. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, many expected Lawrence to be without blemishes early in his professional career, and that is unrealistic. He is not walking through the halls of Clemson any longer. Jacksonville is not head and shoulders better than the competition. In fact, the opposite could be true many weeks this fall. We know.
Yeah, we kind of, by the way, that logic is a little flawed if you watch Clemson's opener the other day, because I missed Trevor Lawrence against this overmatched competition giving you 3 points.
Yeah.
So give it a rest. And by the way, was Mac Jones not on a team that had overwhelmed the competition each and every time? Because he seems to be 4th on your list. Where is the disclaimer against Mac and stepping up in competition with far less experience? You're a hater if you put Trevor Lawrence 8th. I'm sorry. I don't mean to call every national person who doesn't, pat us on the back here, but that's just hate, man. That's a hater.
Yeah.
8th? Come on.
Again, you're comparing him to, Peyton Manning, who's arguably the greatest number 1 overall pick quarterback ever. So Andrew Luck is the other guy you compare him to, and he'd be up in the top 3 or 4 of all time. So
it's just, again, you're trying to be smartest guy in the toolbox, in the sweatshop, I guess. But if you seriously are contemplating the football season and how you think the rookie class is going to shake out, and you think Trevor Lawrence is going to be the 8th best rookie, then you either have no clue or you're just hating.
Yeah.
You're hot taking. I don't know. But this just in, Josh, you're writing a throwaway column embedded within CBS Sports about the rookies. There is no hot take to have.
Yeah.
Just a dumb take.
I can't defend him.
No, you can't.
I can't take the counterpoint. I'm sorry.
Well, then here's what happened. I read that. I started thinking, my God,
He's lucky to be 8th.
What if he is 8th?
That would be disappointing.
Well, especially if he's 8 behind 2 other quarterbacks.
Yeah. Be highly disappointing. There's some pressure on the young man. But, again, if, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, last 3 to go first overall, I think he'll be better than all 3 of those guys.
I felt like I'm going to share one.
Don't you think he'll be better than Burrow, Murray, and Mayfield?
100% do. But, again, all of these great quarterbacks from big programs overwhelm the competition. Stop it if you think that Mac played better competition than Trevor. That's silly.
Yeah.
Alabama's overall team was as much better against anyone they played as Trevor's team was against anyone they played. That's fact. If you don't get that, I can't help you.
Now, what I don't want from Trevor Lawrence is Matthew Stafford's career.
Of course not.
And Matthew Stafford's been very good.
Yeah, never won a playoff game. Only been a couple 3 times.
Yeah.
Not going to that. We've had that kind of success here with whoever it is.
We don't want that
at all.
And then he goes to somewhere else, and now he's favored to win a Super Bowl.
All right, that is the 10-minute drill.
All right.
Beef, I got a Dailies prize pack that we can give away to caller number 5. I'm going to throw you a delicious dash sandwich.
Wonderful.
I'm going to give you a delicious dash drink. I'm going to give you a dash breakfast. I'm going to give you some dash coffee.
Dash away.
Yeah,
wow.
so dash away all. Caller number, 3 this morning.
Nice.
641-1010. And
You
then
said caller number 3.
Did I? Twice?
And then you said caller number, and luckily you hit the same number.
Did I really?
You did.
I don't remember doing it the first time.
Time to play lotto,
my
Jeff.
brain started sifting through all that dash deliciousness, and so I lost track of myself.
It happens to the best of us.
In other news, we'll return next. This is The Drill on the CPR Contracting Wednesday.